Oh, how things can change so quickly in this game. Liverpool 1-0 up, we're 9 points clear. Now it's down to four after a draw against Brentford away. Listen, I feel it's about 10 minutes after kickoff. Things are a bit clearer for me. I don't feel I was emotional when Martinelli had that chance, and I apologise if you watched the watch along live stream. It was a bit of a moment, but I've calmed down and realised that that is actually possibly a good point, considering the circumstances, both with Saliba being out and how good Brentford were against us. They are almost the antidote to Arsenal, in a way. But still, you need to win these games if you're going to win the league. We'll look at both Man City's and Arsenal's fixtures in a minute, the remaining fixtures, but we'll have a quick reflection on the game. Starting 11, I mean, obviously Saliba dropping out is massive for us. I mean, obviously you can see how we dealt with corners throughout that game very poorly, and there was some miscommunication at the back. Not to say Mascara didn't play well. We'll get on to him. What a incredible tackle he made about 88 minutes in. Incredible tackle from Mascara. But obviously there was disorganization and a lack of communication at times. And they threatened so hugely from set pieces. Obviously, we know Brentford's manager, Keith Andrews, was a set piece coach under Thomas Frank when he was manager at Brentford. And they are very, very good at them. And they should have scored maybe two more goals from corners. But the painful thing is, Saliba, he just brings a calmness to us, and it's so hard to play these huge away games under such pressure, surrounded by a Brentford stadium that, it's like a cup final almost. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, because actually they can very much qualify for Europe, which would be incredible for them. But they were bloody. I mean, it was intense. It was like a cauldron. It always is when we play there, especially 8 o'clock on a Thursday night when everyone else, there's no other games on. But just a pain. Eze, let's talk about Eze. So Eze was brought in, chosen over Ødegaard. I guess Arteta wanted to give Ødegaard a bit more time on the bench, and not throw him straight back in after his sort of slight setback injury. Eze just didn't click in the game. I don't really blame him. I want to see us adapt more to Eze. I really think he's the key to this run-in, I think, the way he plays. And I believe he's a big moments player. We saw that at the FA Cup last season. We saw that in the Community Shield this season. I think Eze is a real clutch player. And I think we're going to have to adapt to him a bit. There was a moment when Madueke had the ball, I saw Eze was in space in the middle with space ahead of him. Madueke takes 600 touches, doesn't get the ball to Eze. I thought Madueke had a reasonable game, but it's just the way that Eze doesn't seem to get the ball much. He's a low touch player, I would like to see Ødegaard and Eze play together or something. I think we've got to try some different things, I think, in this run-in. Gyökeres given the nod. We didn't see anything of Jesus. Didn't come on at all. That's interesting. I wonder if Jesus had a bit of a knock or something, because he's been starting recently. But the main points really. I thought in that first 60 minutes, and this is what happens with Arsenal every season, every match, really, in the last 5-6 games, apart from the Sunderland, is we try so hard to take the sting out of the game that we begin to start coasting, and time ticks on, and the opposition start growing in confidence, and that means the crowd start getting excited. Then the pressure the pressure in the atmosphere gets to us a bit, especially when you don't have a player like Saliba there, a sure head at the back to go alongside Gabriel, and things go wrong. So I think we just got to we've got to just be more aggressive or shift the balance a little bit more in those first halves. We're too chess-like. We're trying to. It feels too forced. Not forced, but slow, and a lack of urgency, but it's of course by design. But I just think we need to shift it a little bit and get a goal and throw players forward more, because things start coasting and then teams get confident. Happened against United as well. I thought as well before the goal, moments leading to the goal, they were very good at defending set pieces, and they were very good at defending crosses. And I thought our main joy today was when the players decided to be direct and take on the defenders and go forward. Those moments where Brentford actually looked a bit disorganised. Rice had a moment in the first half where he had so much space in front of him, gets it to Trossard. Trossard takes him on, and there were moments like that. It felt like we got to keep going and stop bloody crossing it in all the time, because they were able to deal with the crosses very well. I thought as well, leading up to that goal, Hincapié was absolutely fantastic, and he has been brilliant. And you can see that Calafiori is going to have a challenge getting back in the side, actually. I thought Hincapié was very good. And the cross he does for Madueke's goal is unbelievable. But just emotions aside of the game today, what a header from Madueke. Stunning header. It's a header of technical beauty. Compared to, brute force. It's absolutely stunning back across the goal. So what a goal. And apart from that, you've got to say we didn't hugely create anything up to that point. And that goal comes from nowhere. I mean, the cross is slightly behind Madueke. He's still able to cushion it across the keeper. Later on into the second half, we started getting... It felt like we were tired or something. I thought... Maybe Arteta would have taken Gyökeres off a bit earlier and brought Martinelli or Jesus on. But of course, after about... the signs were there where that Brentford were going to score from a set piece. They had a few chances. I mean, Potter had a chance to score in an earlier corner before he does score. And it was just all over the shop there. Just not good enough. And since that goal, we couldn't get a foot in it. Dropping points away from home. It's not... Look, I don't think this is as terrible as it feels right now. We're still 4 points clear. Better goal difference, I think, just about. But in that moment, you think, come on, guys, you've got to go for it still. We didn't touch the ball for the next 10 minutes after they got the ball. In fact, they had two of the clearest chances. And if it wasn't for fantastic individual defensive moments from Mosquera with an incredible incredible recovery sliding block on Thiago, we would have lost the game. And Gabriel putting his head on the line to stop shots, we would have lost that. So we didn't create anything up to that point until that moment in the 94th minute when Martinelli has... Again, it was... I mean, before we talk about that, Ødegaard coming on, changing it, it was actually that 20 minutes of him coming on, we started playing a lot more fluid. And he started getting a lot of touches on the ball. But it was up until that point that Martinelli had... my brain is all over the place. I'm a bit scattergunned after that because it is an emotional thing. But it's an amazing save because he sticks his arm out and it doesn't hit his hands, but it just hits the wrist directly. So I think it's a little bit of a lucky save, but it's good positioning by Brentford's keeper Kelleher. But it slaps that if it's a little bit, if it's along the ground, it's in. If it's chipped, it's in. It just unfortunately is in that middle box. Martinelli hits it in that middle area and it's not in. But I just think there were some decision making issues again today in that final third. I haven't talked about Gyökeres yet, but again he has some poor touches and he didn't get much. It's a classic Gyökeres game, really. There's not enough to feed off of. But back to the point about decision making, you've got to say that there was a moment after we scored where we can make it 2-1 if Rice makes a decision quicker to shoot, but he decides to pass it. He's got to shoot there. If you know the moment where he gets into the box, Rice has got to shoot. And, I've noticed that a couple of times with Rice. Rice against United at home. And we had, I think it was 1-on-2. And he just decides to make the wrong pass and a fraction too late. Something just to work on. And in that last minute, I was just playing my mind over and over again where we break away. And Timber, who's been incredible, absolutely incredible season, possibly my Arsenal player of the season, with an awful pass out wide to Saka. By the way, Saka didn't do anything. I mean, he didn't get the ball. He came on at a difficult time when we were getting basically dominated. But God, Timber's pass out wide, and that's the game basically. So disappointing. But you got to say they were very, very good. That's our hardest game, second hardest game of the run-in. Let's have a look at the run-in then. So Arsenal and Man City's run-in here. We've got Arsenal play Wolves away next, and City have Newcastle at home. Newcastle with a bit of form, so perhaps we can see something then. Then we've got Arsenal got the North London derby, difficult game. Regardless, they'll have a new manager in place then. It's on 21st of February. Then we have Arsenal-Chelsea, Arsenal at home. Again, Chelsea's it's a difficult team to play, so that's two hard games there. City play Leeds away after Newcastle at home. So those are two difficult games for City. I'm just starting to fear City's strength in depth. I know we've got very good strength in depth as well, but I think they've got more impactful players. Like Semenyo, Cherki, Foden. You can definitely feel that those sort of players are going to contribute in the run-in, and that's why I'm getting a bit worried here. Then Arsenal play Brighton away and Everton at home. We should win both those games. Brighton have been on poor, and Everton are Everton away is Everton at home is they're not in a good state either. City play Nottingham Forest, who are fighting for their lives at the moment. They play them at home. They should win that. Then City play West Ham away. I'm not sure West Ham away is an easy game. I actually think West Ham away with Nuno starting to make his impact is an opportunity there. Then moving next, we've got Arsenal play Bournemouth away, City away. Bournemouth at home and City away. City away is the big one. We need to have this gap. We need to have this gap of 4 points heading into that game. I don't want to be going into that game with anything less than 3 points, with a 3-point gap. And then I think this could go down to the last day of the season. Arsenal play Crystal Palace away in the last game of the season. City play Aston Villa at home. So, I mean, there's some other games in there, but those are the notable ones. To me, I still think we play West Ham away as well. It's a pretty equal run-in. We're just going to have to see. Anyway, I'll do a video, more in-depth reaction tomorrow. This is more of an emotional thoughts and feelings. I think I want to see a bit of change in the way we play. We're going to have to try something, I think, in this run-in to free up the players and free up some goal scoring. So that's my opinion. I know we scored 3 against Sunderland, but we didn't dominate that game either. And City played very, very well against Fulham. Right. Hopefully I feel better tomorrow morning. Wishing everyone well. Thanks so much. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe or like. And I look forward to seeing you guys around as we fight for all 4 trophies. I do live streams as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's go.